Just wanted to give you a quick little brief on my hit and miss motor, on how much I love this thing and how simple it is. Will you help me crank on this bitch? At the turn of the century of 1900 and even into the 1800s, this is what your generator was right here. If you had a machine shop and you had drill presses, you had a lathe, you had a sawmill, you had a saw in there, this would run it. And that's how they ran your shop. When the governor starts to slow down and it feels it, it will fire the mag again, and then it fires this thing again, and all day long it'll run. They're super efficient. To come out and fire this thing up and hear it run is a pleasure, and it intrigues everyone. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let's go look at some tractors. I know that you guys have seen videos of this old tractor before, but this is my 1935 John Deere A. It's an unstyled tractor. This thing has been so much fun. I've used it to drive down the Las Vegas Boulevard Strip with it. I'll go get coffee with it. This tractor represents, to me, our American history. It also represents hard work. And that's what this country was built on, was hard work. You got all these holes in the frame that were basically attachments that they would bolt on the front of these old tractors. Basically, you have your belt-driven power takeoff here, so there would be a belt around this that they would run out to here. And well, here, matter of fact, here's a saw blade that I have. This is exactly the saw blade that you would have put on the front of this tractor. Now, you know, they would have bolted this on up here somewhere up in the front and had a whole assembly welded together on the front of this thing, and the belt would drive the blade, okay, off the side right here. The cooling system on them is all mechanical. The way that it cools the engine, the ingenuity, the simplicity of it back in the old days was just so cool. I mean, they thought about, how can I make this machine run for 100 years? This is the flywheel here, and if you can, I don't know if you can see on the back side here, but there's little grooves in here for your fingers, and it gives you some grip to pull this flywheel over. I think it's so cool to go find something that's 140 years old and make it run. And as long as you're mechanically inclined and you want to go out and try something, these are a great way to get started, is these old tractors, because they're really kind of simple. There's not a lot to them, but they're fun to make run. Okay guys, this is a 1946 John Deere B. Okay, this is a little bit different tractor than the other one. Not a lot, but it's not as much horsepower. This is actually a California, Nevada tractor. I got it right out of here in Nevada, about 50 miles from here. This one here, because the tires are so bad on it, I can't drive it. So I landscaped it in this rock, kind of give it a cool look. But if the battery will let it fire up, I'm gonna try to start this thing really quick, and you guys can hear this old tractor run too. This is your starter button here. Uh-oh. Hey guys, look, this is my grandpa's old Massey Ferguson tractor, and there is a ton of history in this tractor. A lot of great childhood memories on this. I think my uncle actually bought this for my grandpa years and years ago. He would hook all the kids to the back of it and drag them around on trailers with it. I mean, it was the happiest time of my grandpa's life, I swear, when he'd get on this old tractor and fire it up and take off out in the trees at the ranch. it'd just be the coolest thing ever. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video on a lot of my old antique tractors. I mean, this is a passion, it's a love, it's mechanical, it's something that is a history lesson every time you fire it up. Every time I fire one of these up, it tells me something. You know, a lot of these old guys back then were forging iron, heating it up and hand forging it, hand welding it together, and making it all work. And with the technology nowadays, with the welding equipment that we have now, it's become such a huge thing in our world, and I'm so glad to be a part of the welding community. So with my Welder 101 course that I'm putting out there, it goes hand in hand with this old tractor stuff, you know, heavy equipment. There's so much money to be made out there hard facing and fabricating and building things, along with the mechanical skills. If you have mechanical skills, you should be a welder too, because it goes hand in hand. But this is where it all started. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you guys on the next one.